If you've tried using AI in your business and you walk away thinking like that doesn't sound anything like me, I want you to know that that's not a you problem. That is really just a setup problem. And so today we're going to help you fix that. Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I help faith driven entrepreneurs who are midlife, who are wanting to build a business from home, but they're finding themselves being stuck or scattered or just trying to figure out all those different things. And one of those things is using AI. And Claude, for instance, is something that you keep hearing a lot about, a lot of buzzword about Claude, and you're wanting to make sure that what you're using in AI, it's helpful, it's a great tool, but does it sound like me? Is it reaching the people that I want it to reach? And I was really interested in learning how to use Claude, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want it to sound like I was just like a robot, like everything I was saying was coming across the same way. I wanted to make sure that my voice was authentic, but I also wanted to use the tools that were available to me. So I started to work with it a little bit, and I would love to show you a little bit of what I've learned and how I can help you help train your AI so that it will sound like you, that it will understand who you're serving, and really help you uh, use the tools that are so wonderful for us to use, but learn them in a way that really can be helpful for you and for your business. So I would love to invite you in here, and I'm going to be trying to do this content at least once a week, just trying to share some different ways where I don't know where you are with using AI, but I know that there's so many different tools in there, whether it's AI or something like Trello or Canva. There's so many tools that we have out there, but we want to make sure that we're streamlining things so that we can really spend time in the business, and really be able to reach the people we want to reach. And so I'd love to invite you here, and I love to call this time Flourish TV. Flourish is my brand name, and so we're just going to continue this on, and I hope that it will be helpful to you. So I'm going to walk you through in this episode how to set up Claude so that everything sounds like you and not like that robot that you don't want to sound like, so that you can make sure that your voice is really your voice. So we're going to cover what Claude actually is in plain language, how to build a simple document that tells Claude exactly who you are, and how to use that document to get the results that you want. So if you are diving in and you're like, I don't even know what my voice sounds like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I know that I want to reach people, but I don't even understand what a brand voice is, then I do have something that can help you. So I have something called the Growth Vault, and it helps you get clear on the different ways that you can find out who your ideal client is, what message they want to hear, and so much more. So just drop Vault in the comments and I'll send it to you. It's a free gift for you. And it's a Trello board complete with step-by-step ways that you can really hone in on that clarity. Because if you don't have the clarity of who you're going to talk to or what you're all about, then talking to Claude or creating this document might be kind of hard. So that's a great place to start. So just drop Vault below and I will get that for you for free. So let's talk a little bit about Claude. And when I was actually just introduced to Claude not that long ago, I have always been that ChatGPT girl. I was learning how to use chat, and I named her Amelia. And we talk to her all the time and just have great conversations with her. But I was starting to hear more and more about Claude, and I was like, okay, what is this? And I was afraid. I was afraid to move over to something different, though I was hearing that this AI assistant was going to be amazing, that it was really capable to be able to do a lot of things for me to help streamline my business, help me have a great organization, connect with different apps that I'm using, and so many more things. Oh my goodness, Claude does so much. But I was worried because I had spent a lot of time in ChatGPT and just on my own work, making sure that I understood who I was talking to and how I could help them. And so I was a little bit nervous. And so one day I decided I'm just going to dive in. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to start training Claude, like I had spent all this time training ChatGPT and understanding myself, who I was reaching out to. And I really kind of together with Claude decided to come on with my brand voice. And this is amazing. And so I'm going to be able to show you a little bit of what you can do. It's how you can now, I still use ChatGPT for a lot of things, especially for images. It's definitely way better for images than Claude is, but Claude can do amazing things, from helping you not only plan your content, but it can help you put documents together. I actually have a whole packet that I put together using Claude and then my own skills to be able to come through. If you have a business, but you want to put an offer together, or give them a rundown of the things that you offer, and a proposal and all these different things, I created a whole template package that you can have, so that you can have all those things plug and play. I even have a tutorial in there of how you can tell your Claude what you want, and it will create the document for you. So it's really awesome. You can do so many things. But if you're in that space and you need something you're like, I have offers, but I don't know how to organize them, I don't know how to share them with other people, just write offer in the comments and I will send that to you as well. I wasn't going to talk about that, but I was just so excited about the things that I'm learning how to create, and how much fun it's been to be able to design things that are specifically for my audience. And so I think that this will be something that will be very helpful to you as you build this document, because this is huge. You can use it not only in Claude, but you could use it in ChatGPT. Maybe if you're using some other area of AI, or if you have an assistant that you're going to hire in, or a VA, this will have all the information. It will have all the things that are important to you for your business, and like your branding colors, your logos, all those different things can be put inside this document. So then Claude will know exactly what it needs. And then eventually, another one, I will show you how you can use all this information and plug it into Claude, and you don't have to plug it in every time, and you can create what's called a project. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to just talk about creating this brand voice. So as we know, we want to know all the different things that we want to add to Claude, that we want to give to Claude, to know what to tell it to learn. And so as you have more in depth with Claude, as it understands more of your brand, instead of just going in and saying, hey, please write me a caption or a reel and caption for Instagram, it will ask you some questions, because Claude is very intuitive. But if you already have all of these things primed in there, it doesn't ask you all those questions, and it will just go in, and it might ask some more fine tuning, or be like, how does this sound? Or, I say friends a lot. I say, hey friends, like, this is so exciting. And so it will add that in there, and it sounds like me more and more. And then I will change it, and it knows exactly what I don't want in my content and what I do want in my content, because I've trained it. So I'm so excited about sharing all of these things for you. So I am going to show you in a minute here what it looks like, what my brand voice document looks like. But what we're going to do is we're going to tell it about you, the people that you serve, your tone, the words you use, the ones you never use, and all of those things will change how your content starts showing up. It will start actually sounding like you. Like those M dashes, those are gone. I never use them. I don't like starting sentences with the word but or and very often, because that's not how I was taught. So I make sure that I'm like, no, move that around. I don't like that. Change that up. And it's learning more and more how to sound like me. And it's still my content, but it helps make it polished a little bit better. And it helps me come up with some ideas that I can flow with. And it's really, really fun to be able to do that. And so what we're going to do is just kind of get the idea of how to build this brand document for yourself. So let me see if I can share my screen here. Let me go here and find my document here. Okay. Now I don't know if it's being seen. This is a rookie part of sharing a screen to see if this is actually working. And I don't even know if I know that I'm live, but I don't know if my screen is being showed. So let's see. There we go. That's what I needed right there. Okay. So hopefully you were seeing my screen. And if you're not, well, then someone can let me know somewhere in the comments. But again, so this is what it is. So basically it knows who I am. It says who I am. So it talks about a little bit about me, what my mission is, what my personal values are, my family, some of my interests, my most favorite quote, some books that were important to me. What I always say when I sign off on my podcast in different areas. Then here it is, who I serve, my help statement, what's her name, what's her story, what are her pain points. and on and on and on. Like, after working with me, this is how she should feel. These are the core topics that I'll talk to. I have my brand. I have several different things that I teach. And so Flourish, that's my main brand. And so this is Flourish TV. So, and it has all my links, it has all my bio and on and on. Here's all of my colors that it has. So it knows my brand colors so that it creates documents like you can see at the top here. It has my name, it has in one of my signature colors, it has who I am, it has some of those colors. Now, this document doesn't have a lot of color to it. It doesn't need it. It's just a basic document. But all of these things Claude helped me create, asked me some questions, but then I was able to give it all these different things, the different offers that I have, my store, my links, and on and on and on. And then I have another brand that is about health, and so it has all that information, the colors for that, and what the products are, and on and on. Like, isn't this awesome? It can make it so simple for you to be able to understand what you're wanting, that I want it faith-based, that I want to make sure that these are things that are important to me, what I don't want to talk about, and so on and so forth. So this is something that's going to be really fun as you start to build this document for yourself. You'll be able to see how streamlined everything will become, how much more your content will sound like your voice, because you're spending the time really working through this. And I'm just so excited. You can see. So this brand voice document really is that foundation of everything. And it's simple, and Claude really helps us do that. So I like to look at Claude as like, as my assistant. And then this is like the handbook. Like I said, like if you were going to hire a VA, you would be like, you want them to know everything about you, and you could rattle it all off. But how great would that be to have everything in one spot and for it to be put together clean and neatly? You don't have to if all those different things that you might have set aside, because believe me, I understand. We can have stuff in all these different places, and we want to get them all in one place, because then you know where they are. Now, I have some other things that I organize. Like I have a Trello board that I have all of my brand information in there, and I can show you how to do that. I've done a Flourish TV a long time ago about that, and how you can create that so you have a place for all of those things where you know where your colors are and all those things, everything that you can organize ahead of time and put into a system, into a structure. It's going to help you. So that is definitely something you're going to be able to create. So as you're creating this, let me stop share here. As you're creating this, there are some different sentences that you want to start off to start simply. Now, if you don't have Claude, then that's one of the first things, is to download that and make sure that you have that in there. I have the paid version because I do use it quite a bit, but you can do enough to kind of play with it, not to have to pay with it. You just have to be patient as you use Claude, and then it times out, and then you have those credits, and then eventually it comes back and you have some more time to do that. But what I would do is I would start right off of Claude. If you've been using it, that's okay. If you are brand new to it, this is great because you can prime it right away. But first of all, you want to tell Claude, say who you are, what you do, just a couple sentences. You can keep it simple and specific. Just say, hey, my name is Stephanie, and I'm a clarity and purpose business strategist who helps faith-driven women in midlife build businesses from home. Remove that scattered feeling and have a plan so that you can step in with confidence, knowing that your vision is going to be made well. And so whatever it is, you have your help statement, someone who you serve, making sure that you have that. And again, if you don't have that all nailed down, put vault in the comments, and I will send you my free growth vault so that you can start working through some of those questions. I have a lot of ways that you can nail down your brand inside that. Then the next one is really talking about who your ideal client is. What is she struggling with? The more specific you are, the better. So again, you'll type into Claude, you'll be like, this is who I am. And then you'll type in again, say, this is who I help. This is her age. The more you can tell her, like, I know that when we speak in our content, when we're teaching things, we want to make sure that we're connecting with that person. Who is it that you're serving? Who are you helping? And the more connected you are to where she's at, what she's doing, where is her faith? Does she have children? Is she married? Is she single? Does she have pets? Does she take care of her elderly parents? Or does she have littles at home? Like, does she work outside of the home? What kind of business does she want to build? All these different things. The more you tell Claude, the better, of who you're helping and who you're serving. So, you've heard me say this a couple times. I help, faith-driven women in midlife who feel scattered. They feel like they keep starting over and over, and they're ready to invest in themselves. They want to build something that matters, and they want to be able to do it from home. So when Claude knows who she is, it will write directly to her. And then third would be your brand voice. This is where you describe how you sound. I say I'm warm, I'm faith forward, conversational. I don't want hustle language. I don't like emojis. I don't like those M dashes. I don't like the buts and the ands on the beginnings of my sentences all the time. All those specific phrases that I use are important to share, things that I would never want to see. Those are things that you want to prime Claude. It's really just important to tell them what to do and then what not to do, making sure that that Claude is understanding, this is who I am, this is how I talk, this is who I serve, and I don't do this, so that it's really giving you a good picture. It gives Claude that basis to start building this document. And because Claude is so intuitive, it will continue to ask questions, which is really, really cool. As you go through and the more you work with it, you'll be able to know, hey, this is some things that I really want you to know about me, so that when we're writing content, it will flow so much easier, and you'll be able to have this amazing document that Claude will be able to reach all the time. Or if you're using ChatGPT, you can kind of build the same document. I really like how Claude uses it because you can create a project, which I'll talk about on another upcoming episode, and then it will always have that, will always reference this document as it's creating things for you. So it's really awesome. And then you'll want to tell, number 4 would be what offers you have. What are you selling, or what are you giving away? What lead magnets do you have? What freebies do you have? What is the name of your free resource? Like today, I'm giving you that the growth vault. So it knows about that. It knows what's in it. It knows I can send it. It's the link to the page that tells all about it, and it will read it and it will understand what I'm doing. It's really awesome. What do you call your coaching calls? Mine are called Inspire Coaching. Claude needs to know that these things, all these different things, so it can reference it. So it can be natural when it's not making things up or saying things that are not true. How often have you caught maybe AI, if you've used it at all, and it starts making up some different things that are really not true about you? I'm like, no, that's not me. I've never done that. I've never said that before. I would say, oh, my bad. Almost it kind of says that. And sometimes you need to remind them, but the more you use this document and you reference it, it really gets to know who you are and how you're serving. And then another one would be any content rules that matter to you. So that would be maybe the 5th thing that you would prime in there. So always lead with the problem before the solution. Always end with an encouraging line, or don't write in that preachy tone. I don't want to preach at you, but I want to help you. I want to encourage you, so it understands it. So that's really the main 5 sections that you're going to fill in. And I know I've gone through these things really quickly. So you can go back and look at the different places that I've talked about, the different things to prompt them. And that will definitely help you as you go through. And you can put all of these things in a few pages. That's really going to really, really helpful. Mine is several pages long because I continue to prime it, but it's awesome because now the more I have on there, the better. And what's really cool is as I'm using the document and I'm inside the project that we'll create another day, it will be able to say, oh, you know what? You just made these changes. Let's go ahead and make sure you add that into your brand document. So I can go back to that conversation in Claude and be like, hey, let's make sure we add this offer or this new intention that I want to create, or this new goal, or whatever it is that you're adding in there. Or say, my avatar has shifted a little bit. Now she's actually going to be a young mom, and this is why. And so you can go in and change it and update that document, and then Claude will have that. And so, but if you have it in one place, it's awesome. I open up mine in Google Drive, so I can go in and I can change it, or I can have Claude change it for me. So it's really super simple. So it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Like I said, mine is a lot longer because I have just continued to prime it and give it more information. But really, if you start simple, that is enough. Giving yourself some ease, knowing that as you're jumping into using this amazing tool that Claude is for us, but making sure that it's following along with the lines that you want it to go. And again, it's going to take some time to prime it, to help it learn who you are. But the more information that you give, talking about who you are, who you serve, what's important to you, what's not, what your overall purpose is, and then you can start in. I didn't mention, but then you can be like, this is my logo, these are my colors, these are this is my catchphrase, all those different things you can build into it as you go, which is awesome. So what I would really highly encourage you to do is go in and actually try doing this. Go opening up your Claude and looking at this. So what I can do quickly is show you in Claude. Let me see here. And let me share my screen and go here. So here is back inside in Claude. So this is the this is just on the web browser. I actually typically use the app on my computer, but for purposes, it would be easier to share my screen this way. And so, as I said, like this is where you will go in and you will say, you will start typing in your name, who you are, right in here, like, hi, my name is Stephanie. Okay, obviously it knows I am. It says back at it, Stephanie, so it knows that. And then it will have all this. You can all those different things that we went through. You can start adding it in here, and it will start taking all of that and really starting to create that document for you. And then, like I said, next, one of the next times I will show you how to create a project where you can see here, Flourish Business, and it has everything about my business inside here. It has some of the different things. These are some of the chats that I've done within this project. And then this is the memory. So it knows exactly who I am. It gives the instructions of who I am. It has the files of the different business information. So this is my whole brand reference document, and this is another information about it and some part of my other business. And so all of this stuff is in here, and you would just open up Claude if you've never used it before, and you just start here and start typing out some of those information, things that we've talked about. It's very, very simple. And what I love about it too is it keeps all these different conversations that you've had. And then when you create this project, everything in here it's connected directly to those documents, all the information it knows about me, so that I can come in and say, hey, this is exactly what I want to do today. And I don't have to load up all these different things again, because it knows exactly who I am and how I serve and all of that, which is really, really awesome. So that is a basic idea of it. Now, if I know I went through a lot of things very, very quickly. So if you're opening up Claude for the very first time and you're not quite sure what to do, this will definitely be helpful. You can go back and listen. If you're finding I'm going way too fast, or you're like, oh my goodness, I need some help, I could possibly put something together for you with the steps for this. So if that's something that would be helpful to you, make sure you put that in the comments as well. But really what I want you to do is be able to take this information and jump it into Claude and start creating the brand voice document, so that it will make life so much easier as you move forward. And so let's see. Then what happens is, once you have that brand document in there and you're inside that project, you'll be able to do that. Now, if you've created this and you're like, I don't know how to do a project, but I want to start using it, you can go right into your Claude and say something like, here, you could basically say, hey, here is my brand context. Paste your document right in there, and then say, now write me an Instagram caption for a faith-driven woman in midlife who's feeling scattered and needs a reminder of what it takes to keep going. So let's say that's what I want my comment on. I can punch that in here inside my inside Claude, and it will know exactly what I wants me to do, which is really, really awesome. Here, let's see. So I'm going to go inside here, but actually I'll just show it here. Say, help me write a real caption for my avatar, reminding her she can build what she wants and not feel overwhelmed. So here, if I'm not using the project that I will show you another day, you'll go in here and I'm going to just take this brand document. Let me open it here. I should have done this ahead of time. Let's see. Goodness gracious. Hold on a second. I didn't think about showing this to you right now. So let me download this quick because I don't know where it is on my desktop at the moment because my documents aren't loading on my computer because who knows because that makes life lots of fun. It shows that anybody can do this and teach. So let me add this in here. Here I just downloaded this. So here's my brand document that I created and then now again, you won't have to do this step. I don't normally have to do this step because it's in the project, but for today, we'll show you that. So let's say, help me write a real caption for our avatar, reminding her she can build what she wants and not feel overwhelmed. Here it is, and she knows my avatar's name is Elise. So friends, can I just say something to you? You don't have to have it all figured out before you start. The overwhelm you are feeling right now is not a sign that you're doing it wrong. It is a sign that you care deeply about getting it right. That's totally my idea. Now it has a but here. Sometimes it does still do that, but this is what I want you to hear. You're allowed to build something meaningful without knowing every single step. You're allowed to start before you feel ready. You're allowed to choose one direction and trust that God will redirect you if you need it. The woman you're meant to serve, she's waiting, which is so true. Not for a perfect plan, but for you to take the next right step. You are made for this, right? Comment clarity and below, and let's figure out your next steps together. That is very much to me. It's very much, it knows everything about it, and it just read that document. Now, if I just did a new chat, here, actually, let me go here. Let me go here, up here. And I'm going to write this. And I'm just going to go into a new chat now. And I'm just going to put it in here. And it's not in the project. The document is not there. Let's see what it does. It's going to probably ask me questions, or it may. Oh, it already knows. It's pretty smart. Dang. So a lot of times if you go in here and it does not do that, a lot of times it will say, it's going to need that instead. So it didn't work. I was all excited to show you something that it didn't do. But a lot of times, Claude knows who I am so well now that it's really starting to take all of that. And I love that. So it kind of backfired on me, but that's a good thing. It shows you how important it is to have that avatar in place, so that you have all that brand document in place, so that Claude knows exactly who you're serving, why you're serving them, and how you speak. So that's really awesome. So I can't show you the difference, but I love that we're showing how much Claude can learn about you as you prime it, as you share with it. And so I'm excited to do that. But a lot of times that usually doesn't happen. So I don't know, maybe it's because I just did that prompt, but that's okay. But really that document is going to do your heavy lifting so that you don't have to go through and tell it all this information again, because that's really going to make a difference. And so maybe if we did it a little bit different, maybe if we said, whoops, oh goodness, now, where'd my Claude go? There it is. Let me go to a new chat and just say, please write a caption for a reel to share how to stay motivated in business. Let's see if it says it's going to do it for release or not. No, it's not too bad. But here, this is a good example. Now it does say so friends, so it did pick up stuff, but it did have this emoji, and it very rarely ever gives me emojis. It has these emojis in here a little bit. It has the long dashes. So you can see there is a difference between this one and that last one, because I didn't mention my avatar. I just said, write me a caption. And it's really, it's similar, but it's not the same. Those M dashes and those long dashes, I don't like them. It doesn't look like me. I've never used those before. I very rarely use an emoji like this. Maybe in this instance, drop a flower if you needed this today. Sure. But it didn't have all of my specific branding information. It knew that clarity is one of my words that I like to use and things like that. So hopefully you can see the difference a little bit there. But anyways, you can see the difference. If you go in, once you have this document created, you're going to make a huge difference. So so just keep this simple. We don't need to make it really hard. I know I've shared a lot about what you can add into it. And what I love about this is just because you started, it doesn't mean that you've got to have it all figured out. Just start building that document and you can continue to add to it, and you can continue to go back to that specific chat and say, hey, some of these things have changed. I would love you to add this or this to my brand document, and it will do it for you in seconds. It's just amazing. So I would highly encourage you, if you don't have all of this nailed down, or if you don't have everything in one place, go through, open up a fresh document and write 3 to 5 sentences about who you are, who you help, and what your voice sounds like. Then just go to Claude and just paste those sentences in and ask them to start building your brand voice for you. Say, I would love for you to learn who I am. Here's a little bit about me. And then you can start sharing more and more. And then once you've done that, you can start building your content around that, building other things that come to your mind. And it will make sure that it will start looking for that brand voice and start creating the things that sound like you. So you're not going back and re-editing everything or changing this or changing that. You know that you can count on what it's going to create for you. And it's really awesome. But if you're sitting there and not realizing, you're not sure quite, how you're going to describe who you help or what your brand voice even is, again, the Growth Vault is a great place for you to start. So just comment Vault and I will send that free resource to you. And then, sometimes we just need some little bit more help to when we're clear in our calling, but we're just not sure what our voice is, or really we're not maybe reaching the people we want to, or you're just feeling a little bit like, I just am a little scattered. I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. I want to do these things. I hear all those things you're saying, but it's just a bit overwhelming. I'm just not sure what to do. Not sure exactly what I want to build or how to build what I'm doing. I would love to offer one of my Clarity Audit calls. They're limited in supply, but you are more than welcome to apply for an audit, which is going to be where we just kind of take a little bit of look at what's going on in your business or what you would like to create in your business, and just spend a little time together, just working through what your next best step is in your business. So if you would love to apply for one of those free calls, again, those are limited, but I would love for you to apply. So I will put that in the comments below, and I'll make sure once this is all uploaded, I'll make sure I put the link in the show notes as well. But I would love for you to be able to have that clarity, because building this brand voice document is amazing. But if you don't have a voice that to even capture, if you know what you're trying to build, but you just don't know what to do, or you're like, that sounds great. What do you mean brand colors? What do you mean what I want to do? What do you mean who I'm serving? The Growth Vault is a great step for that. Again, that's free. And then the call also is free as well. But I do have limited spots, so I would love for you to apply for those as well. But I hope this is helpful. I'm going to continue to do these each week and try to share more about whether it's Claude or maybe Trello, maybe Canva, some different things. So if there's things that you would love for me to teach about, if you're like, okay, I'm really wanting to build this business, but I'm just a little bit lost, drop those in the comments as well. I would love to know how I could best serve you. And I want to talk about things that are going to help you, because I think it's really awesome to be able to share the things that we're learning with other people. And I just love being able to learn new things and then share that with you. That's going to help your business be easier and more simple, and just, it's just a lot of fun. So thank you for joining me. If you're here, please again, drop a comment down. Let me know if this was helpful. And if you're like, oh my goodness, I just need a little bit more help, drop audit in the comments, or find the link in the show notes and apply for that call, and we'll just have a conversation and see where it goes. So please remember that you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. All right, take care. See you next time.